Mapping out the route to net zero involves lots of different areas. So whether it's the roofs are insulated and whether the windows are double glazed, looking at opportunities for generation on site, so solar panels and wind turbines, thinking about our fleet of vehicles, so the emissions that we're producing from those, the heating systems that we use.
There will be some measures that will be fairly simple, but as more and more of the simpler measures are implemented, we then move through the more complex measures. And as a university that has a huge and varied building stock, that's going to become increasingly challenging. We have certain buildings that are very efficient and use very little energy, but we've also got buildings that are 50 plus years old and are very inefficient. And so to bring the university estate and infrastructure to where it needs to be is a hugely complex and challenging piece of work.
Some of the challenges we face around setting a net zero target, obviously, a big one is resource, both in terms of people power and the cost. There's all sorts of incredible things that we could do in the next 5-10 years, but we need to have the money to be able to do that as well. So it's being realistic about what can be achieved. It's also kind of knowing what technologies are out there and what fits with our existing estate.
It's very important to have the working relationships with our local councils, larger scale opportunities where we may need to install large-scale PV solar projects or wind turbines. I think those working relationships we have will be really important. We haven't had to resolve or overcome some of these challenges before, and we will need to work with the council and the planners to see how we can best do that.
There's lots of big changes that we can make as a university that will cost money, but as individuals, by being part of this, being a community of kind of sustainability minded people and thinking about the future, that's where it all adds up to make a difference.